All right, so back again, part 3. Okay, so first part, we just looked at basic fundamental footwork patterns, how we can use the 2-step and the 3-step pattern. I teach it in all the fundamentals classes. Part 2, we looked at the 3 finishing positions that I try to get to, at least in no-gi. Gi, it'll be a little bit different, okay? Now what I want to take a look at is getting to those same positions, but instead of moving ourselves, we actually focus on moving our partner. Now, his knee to elbow position is going to dictate what I do. Okay, so I have a supine opponent. Okay, if he has tight knee to chest, and I'm like, man, I can't get past him. He's really nice and tight. He's really disciplined. It's now time to move him instead of myself. So whenever I'm here and I'm trying to move, and he's disciplined, okay? Because some guard players will be like, man, go ahead, blast past my guard. I don't care. So they'll stay shelled up, and you're like, man, I know that's a trick. So instead, we move them. How does this happen? We go from double ankles to knee and shin. Now for this to work, my partner has to have concave shoulders, which he does. If he was flat on the mat, this move isn't gonna work, but I'll just start blasting past him. Okay, so whenever I feel he's got tight defense, we go shin and knee. We push the knee and turn the shin, which creates that same angle. Now his reaction will dictate my finish. If he starts turning into me, we go hip and knee post, okay? If he starts high legging over, I can either look to start pinning, okay, pinning like we did earlier. I can start dragging, okay? Or if I see that high leg, I can start getting to the shins and going to north-south and finishing with those 3 positions, okay? So that's using a turning method. Now from that, so once again, he's real tight defensively. I'm moving around. I'm playing with different grips, either foot, ankles, etc. And he's staying tight. So now I go knee and shin, and I turn. Now the next one is if he's a little bit more extended here. Usually they'll have the foot higher, right? Because they're trying to extend and either get to my hip, get to some form of de la riva, etc., etc. Whenever this happens, we use throw-by methods. So from here, we're on the foot, to underneath the ankle. Anytime we go underneath the ankle, it's time to throw a leg by. Now, knowing that, my partner knows that, he trains here, if he feels me take this grip, he's gonna be like, wow, I know what you're doing, then we just switch. So we wanna hide what it is we're doing by either going on the foot, ankle, shin, till we start seeing him extend his knee away from his elbow and get his leg a little higher. Now, when we do this throw by, the most basic one is just how the name implies. I just throw everything by, and now I'm here. And again, his reaction will dictate my finish. Now, that's a little too simple, right? This is where we start using misdirections. So I start playing around. As I see that foot getting higher and higher, I move, okay? Now sometimes I'll twitch. As he comes back, I go the other way. If I see that motion, just play around. Okay, I'm moving, okay, till I can find that opening on those 3 finishing positions. Okay, so that's using a throw-by method. Now, another really good method is to leg drag. Now, whenever he's here and he's square, it's tough to just get to leg drags. Why? Because he can simply pummel this leg over. Yes, there's things I can do, get around, start to pin, but ideally for leg drags, I always want to get him to a hip. Okay, so if he's here, we're playing, I start to get to my angles. This time I didn't get past the hip line. Okay, so what I like to do from here is as he throws that leg over, I like to drag and switch to this side here. Now if he stays, amazing. I get the pass. But as he goes to turn back in, that's when we make a switch and we end up on the same hip and knee post, just on the other side. So let's run that again. Again, I come in behind my hands. We're playing. I get him to a hip, but I wasn't able to get all the way past the hip line. So I see that leg coming, I drag, and I try to finish this. As I feel him go to recover, I can always switch back to a hip and knee post. And now my whole thing is to run everything over and finish on the other side here, okay? So that's using our partner's reactions to get us to the spot we want. So quick recap on everything. We can either turn our partner and find the positions we want. If the knees are away from the chest, now I can't turn them. See, look, he's really hard to turn. Now we use throw-by methods. he doesn't know where I'm going. And finally, we use leg drag methods, where I find a way to get him to a hip. Okay, there's no real right or wrong answer. I just got to get him to his side and get this reaction. If he stays disciplined with this leg here, guess what that presents? That same hip and knee post. So he's got to try to bring the leg over. Okay, now sometimes as I go hip and knee post, he'll capture me with that leg. And now same thing, I can go. If he starts to come back, freeze, I can make a decision. Hip and knee post, or go back to throw-bys. And I'll just play on the outside and start to move. Okay? Makes sense? Well, you're not there, but hopefully that makes sense. All right, hope you guys like that.